Good evening, everyone. It's 7 o'clock, so we'll make a start on our public session, I suppose. Can I just ask councillors just to introduce themselves for our guests this evening? Amanda.
Hello, I'm Amanda.
Brilliant.
Hi guys, I'm John Matthews. Been in the village 11-12 years and just joined last month as the parish council.
Nice meeting you. Owen Colwick-Clark, since 2007.
Colin Townsend, current chairman. I've been with the council since about 2008, is it?
2011 actually.
11. Time flies.
Yeah, I'm Bob Belmont. I've been on the council. This is my 30th year now. I started very young.
Do you think you like it?
No.
I'm Malcolm Borland. I've been on the parish council for some number of years now, and I'm vice chairman.
Thank you. Right, it's a very pleasant activity to meet you all this evening. We've got some councillors or potential councillors that we need to co-opt onto our council. We've got Tracy Woods, Sarah Bugard, Melina isn't here at the moment, but she's on the list. Paul Frost, Linda Brayfield, David Knott and Jane Gray. What I'd like to do, if that's okay, is just give you a few moments just to address us with anything that you wish to say to endorse your application. We have notes that have already been issued to us by Owen, so if you prefer just to read the notes, which we already have done, and not say anything, we'll be perfectly happy with that. So the first one on my list would be Jane. Jane, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Jane Gray. Recently moved to Brent Knoll about 4 years ago, and during that time it's very noticeable how fast cars and tractors go along Burton Row at a rate of knots. During the time that we've lived there, we've got a telegraph pole outside our property, and that's been taken out twice by cars speeding and repaired, obviously, by the electricity board, who worked through the night putting it back up, and then we had to have our drive re-tarmacked. So the speeding is very bad in Burton Row. Well, it's probably bad all the way along, actually. The other concern I have is the possible glamping site in Middle Street, which causes some concern when you consider how narrow Middle Street is regarding traffic overtaking or trying to get past each other, and the area that I think was being proposed is just a field with nothing in it. And the other thing I'm interested in is the park area, as there's no facilities there for physically handicapped children. I worked for 30 years with physically and mentally handicapped children. It's a lovely park, but there's nothing there for special needs.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Next one on my list is David. David, do you want to address us? We know you well.
I was going to say, I won't say too much because I think everyone sort of knows me and we've been on the council, I don't know how many years. Owen probably
2011.
more than that.
Well, you're impressed with this, aren't you?
Yeah, so you probably know everything there is to know in a way.
Okay. Thank you, David. Next one, Tracy. Tracy, do you want to say a few words?
Happy to, yes. I'm Tracy Woods. Lived in the village for 14 years. I think it's a great place to live. I think we're so lucky to be in this environment, and would like to do what I can to support the environment and do good things for the village. I work full time, so I can't do much in the daytime, so this was an opportunity. It's night times, it's when I can do things. I can't help in the shop because I've got other commitments, so just wanted to really put something back into the village. So my background is human resources, so I'm hoping that could be a useful thing. Used to solving problems, helping people, So I'm hoping that could be of benefit to the council.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you very much. Now, Melina isn't here, so we'll move on to the next one. Sarah.
Yeah, hello. Good evening to you all. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Sarah Brugall. 9/11/2001, a memorable day for so many. I was privileged enough to acquire Nightingale Farm, one of the oldest properties in Brent Knoll, with my husband Mark, where we brought up our 4 children. By way of background, I'm a commercial property lawyer. I worked in Bristol for 5 years in private practice and then moved in-house and was legal lead across the UK property portfolio for EWT. In 2020 I stood down and I had time with my children during the pandemic, but was also able to set up and operate a small business here in the village, operating 2 holiday property accommodations. I believe now is a unique opportunity. I think village life has never been so attractive to so many for so many reasons, and I want to be a part of supporting the full potential that Brent Knoll can offer at every demographic level within its community. I want to support that. I want to be a part of it, and that's my understanding.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Paul.
Paul Frost. I live down Ham Road. I'm a dairy farmer. I've lived in the village all my life, 62 years. I went to Brent Knoll School. When I was young, I went to the Methodist Church. So I feel I sort of know the village pretty well. My father was on parish council. My 2 daughters went to village school. So I just feel I want to give back something to the village. And I feel I've got a good knowledge of the history of the village and where it's sort of going to.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Paul. Just a minute. Melina.
Sorry.
Hi, Melina.
Hi.
Hi. Just to allow Melina time to kiss the park. Yeah, that's a good point. Linda.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. I've lived here for over 40 years. I love the village. I've seen it change quite a lot over those years, and most of it has been lovely because it's a really nice place to live. I'm interested in the shop. I volunteer there along with Jane here, and we would love for it to continue because it's been a hub for the community, and people come in basically for the social side as well as for the amenity itself. And I'm also very interested in the footpaths around here, some of which are more like an obstacle course. And I'm also interested in the end of Brent Street, which I think possibly something needs to be done there before there's a really nasty accident. That's about it really. I'd like to contribute too, put something back. So that's why I'm here.
Thanks, Lynn. Thanks very much. Melina, we've heard from the other candidates. Would you like to, we've had your notes obviously about why you wish to be considered to be co-opted. Do you want to address the council in any way?
Oh, could you just read out my notes, please? Sorry, I wasn't told I needed to prepare anything.
No, don't worry. I would like to confirm my eligibility for co-option to the parish council. I've lived in Brent Knoll for 9 years and I'm on the electoral register. I have spare time to devote to serving the village and a keen interest in the village and its future. Do you want to add to that, or does that sum?
No, that just about sums it up, thank you.
Sums it up, okay, thank you. Right, are there any questions that you want to ask any of our potential candidates? Anything at all? Then I think the best thing to do is we'll proceed to...
Receive apologies first of all for the meeting and declaration of interest.
Sorry, we need to start our...
We need to start our meeting.
I beg
the second item actually.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, my mistake. I've got to close our public session now and open our formal session so I'm afraid you can't really interrupt us from now. It's our show, as it were, for want of a better word. So please forgive me. So welcome, councillors, to our June meeting, our Jubilee meeting in the Jubilee room. First of all, can we have apologies?
Apologies from Nigel Summers. He's actually working, so I was unable to get here this evening.
Thank you. Are you happy to accept those apologies? Thank you. Declarations of interests. Bob?
Yes, I'm going to do my normal for district and county and any planning matters. I'll obviously leave the room to avoid predetermination.
Thank you.
And parish one, you've got a bill to pay, so yes, that's a personal.
Can I also welcome, before we go into our main agenda, Tony Grimes, who's visiting us tonight. He is your co-elected Somerset County Councillor and also a member of Sedgemoor District Council. And as he quite rightly says, in a year's time it won't be County Council, it will be what? Somerset, when we become a unitary authority. He was elected alongside Bob in the recent election, so congratulations to you, Tony, and good luck in unitary authority. Okay, our option, item 3 is co-option of our 5 members.
Approve the minutes, the next option.
Oh, it's not an item. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
You've had the minutes of our last meeting. Are you happy that our signing has been to record? Yep. Thank you. There's no item there, is there?
No, there isn't. Actually, my mistake on that.
No, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay.
It's better organised than that.
Our face of music, I'm not blaming anybody. Face of music. Okay, co-option process. Will you identify how we're going to go about that?
Basically, the co-option process is laid down in statutory legislation, what we can and what we can't do for co-options. Because as you know, once nominations are passed, elections are over. If we have vacancies on the parish council, then we can fill them by an immediate co-option of members. And the way the co-option works is that every member of the council will have a ballot sheet with 7 names on there. They will be able to mark those that they feel they want to, up to a maximum of 5. Any councillor will need, any potential councillor will need to get a minimum of 3 votes in order to succeed to become a councillor, which is just over half. In other words, they have to have an absolute majority, 3 out of 5, in order to become an elected member. Now, after the first ballot, if anybody doesn't have the 3 votes, we don't have 5 people with 3 votes, then we go to the second ballot. But before I go to the second ballot, I will identify those that have the 3 votes on the first ballot, and they will automatically be elected. So we'll be narrowing it down. Hopefully we won't go long beyond 2 or 3 to do that. I've only got enough papers for 4, so... So basically I'll kick it off and I'll explain as we go through. But I'm going to give out the ballot papers at the moment.
Bella is going to be our...
Bella's going to be a very, very fine.
Very fine.
So that I can't, do anything I shouldn't. Bella's going to make sure I'm, absolutely kosher. All right.
Thank you. Just put it across, tick.
Just put it across. Just put it across as if it was a normal. So, Bella, if you would just like to, if you'd like to sort of talk about it, we'll do our homework.
Spotlight this place.
Can you get that when you I've got three there, so you don't mind that.
Yes, thank you. Bit of an angle, so you get in and out.
So on that one,
Yes.
Executive decision.
Whether it's just going to
John and I took an executive decision on that. It works.
I was worried about the spelling mistakes that we've always used.
Oh no, the checked it out. It was a bit plain when you originally did it. I think you need a bit more flower. It's good. It's weird weather. So rather than go into the study and rehash it, we said we'll leave it, put everything on the blank, and there was a blank side, so it just stays. I think in years to come they'll have to do the foundation.
Busy at the moment with work.
In fact, other base, we've got actually in the base.
Worse and worse. Have you got too much?
I used to work with Dave years ago, some time ago. He left and then he set up his own HR practice, and then he set up looking after children in care. He did quite a lot, and then he gave it back to HR. Oh yeah, no, it's
Intentions. Yeah, good intentions.
always wanted to be a returning officer.
No particular order.
No particular order, yeah. Always wanted to be a returning officer. Right.
yeah, no, it's very.
We have 5 members of the council on the first ballot, actually. And the five members will be Sarah Bugard, Tracy, Jane, David and Melina. They are the 5 members of the council to be elected by the council.
Well done.
Are you happy with all those? So it's Sarah, Tracy, Jane, David and Melina.
To those that weren't elected, thank you very much for your interest and your support. We rely upon the residents of Brent Knoll to support us, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from us, or we'll seek to get you involved. But thank you very much for your kind participation in this, and I would invite our new councillors, David, Jane, Sarah, Tracy and Melina to come and take your positions at the table. Thank you, Bella, for your help with that.
Thank you.
Your face again.
Nice new look to the council, isn't it?
Wow.
Wow.
We're almost outnumbered. Melina, are you all right down there?
Yeah, just to me, that's my direct way of reading it from you then. Just bear with me while I do a little bit of
Twirling.
Better return this one round.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
well done.
That'll do. Thank you.
Well, congratulations to you and welcome everyone. Obviously now you're councillors, and Owen will undoubtedly seek to get you all signed up properly, which is a process in itself. But I'm sure you'll be in touch.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to raise later on was that I was hoping to do an evening at some stage during the end of the month to run through some of the sort of basics of being on the council, because there are some statutory things that you need to think about, and perhaps also look at planning and one or two other aspects. So what I'll probably do in the next few days is send out an email, try and get some suggested dates from you, dates that you might be available, and then try and get a consensus of dates to come into Jubilee Room just for an hour or so before the next meeting, if you're happy with that. And there's declarations of office to sign, there's register of interests. Declarations of office will need to be signed at this meeting, so at the end of the meeting, if you can just hang fire and I'll get you to sign those. And then we'll go from there.
Thank you. I'm sorry, but we haven't got copies of the agenda for you, have we?
No, we haven't. I've got a meeting date, but not the agenda. Did you all get a copy? I did send one by email to you.
Have you got one?
I did send everybody an email out actually with an agenda, so you might have got one.
Okay. The next item on our agenda is item 4, which is planning. And generally we...
Oh, I need to
I've got a date today.
Everybody disappears. Which one?
Second.
Oh, okay. The second one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do the first one.
Okay.
Okay. We have an application for those that for our new members. Down on the A38 there is a showroom that sells motorhomes, and you may well have noticed over the past few months that a lot of groundwork has been done with the erection of a fence and a narrow entrance into the new area, okay? Which we gave, it is in fact a Burnham without application,
It is, yeah.
which is, in other words, it's right on the border, for want of a better word, between Brent Knoll and the next authority or parish council called Burnham without, which stretches down the road towards Tesco. That is Burnham without. And what has happened there is they constructed the new entrance, and then for some reason, I don't know why, there must have been a break in there. Thieves broke into the whole compound and stole various items from new vans and also their stock. So what they've done now is they've sought to apply to change the entrance, the new entrance that they've done. In other words, they want to widen it, and they want to move it back with more secure fencing, for want of a better word, but also put bollards up on the main road. And there are, I don't know if you can see, but I suppose we can't put it up, can we?
Not on that one,
Okay.
no, actually.
The red area is the site that they're developing, and you can see that the existing exit is here, or entrance, sorry, to their site. And what they want to do is, normally you would have the opportunity to view these on the Sedgemoor online website. That is the existing one, but essentially they want to widen it and put these bollards, security bollards, across there for protection. In principle, I see no reason, but I'm not leading you, I see no reason not to widen the entrance, because it probably makes the entrance and exit onto the A38 probably easier and a bit safer rather than narrow one. However, Somerset Highways have commented on this, and they, on the website you'll see a Somerset County Council notice, which says the red line on the application, that's there, includes part of the adopted public highway, and furthermore it is proposed to erect bollards within the highway, which is not acceptable and will need to be amended. A full assessment will be carried out and a response will follow. So in other words, notwithstanding that we may agree that for various reasons it can be widened and made more secure, Somerset Highways do have problems with it. So essentially what we could do, we could say, as a parish council, we could say, well, we're happy with the widening of the entrance to provide security, but we cannot, but it will be only, if you like, accepted once Somerset Highways have satisfied themselves of the bollard requirements. And I think that probably is the most sensible thing that we can do. They're not asking for a new entrance, they're just asking it to be widened, but they are asking for bollards to be put in, which Highways have said is not allowable, but that's up to Highways. Normally, as a council, we would discuss it, and then someone would move the motion to say, well, I propose that we accept this subject to the determination of Somerset Highways, and then we'd vote on it. That's what would normally happen. David, do you want to guide us down there? Is you're the experienced one?
What do you think? And just basically say what you have said.
I think that
basically it's not a problem, is it? It's only they're only widening it 3 metres from what it is now.
yes.
I'll say I'm happy as long as the Highways criteria are met, or the Highways objections are met.
Okay. So essentially, we would support the application, subject to Somerset County Highways acceptance of the proposals.
And would we say that's on road highway safety, or
it would have to be on highway safety.
The fact that that that's what they're doing it for.
Yeah, yeah. So, fellow council, the proposal then from David would be that we accept the widening of the gate, but subject to Somerset Highways Department confirming what the proper requirements should be for this particular area. Okay.
Basically, they'll just set them back further.
Probably
Is what will happen.
Yeah.
If there are bollards permitted further back, I would suggest that they're conspicuous because where there's a space off the road, people tend to pull in. So if they're obscure colour, can't be seen, they could be a hazard.
Yeah, I think highways will address that.
Yes.
There is a picture on the website showing a car parked across it with red and white, the usual red and white bars showing
reflective.
yeah, what they would require. So there it is. Seconder?
Yeah.
Okay, Amanda, all those in favour? Okay, good. That's your first planning application dealt with. Yeah.
I'll disappear from that.
Yes, yeah,
Oh, right,
okay. Okay.
Personal interest.
Okay. Your second planning application is what they call a retrospective one, because essentially work has been started, it hasn't been finished, but they realise they should have had planning approval to actually carry it out. It doesn't happen very often, but the description of work says, has the work already been started without consent? Yes. Has the work been completed without consent? No. What it is in Ham Lane, as you drive over the railway bridge, there's a row of cottages on your left-hand side. And Applewithy Cottage is the second one along. And what they have applied permission or want, if you like, your approval for is, and the drawings are pretty poor.
I tried to download them, but
They are pretty poor. But what I'll do, I'll pass this around. I'll mark in the border of Applewithy Cottage, and I'll shade in the garden room that they want to put up. Can you just have a quick glance at that? What it is, they are seeking to build a garden room with a flat roof and I'm just looking to see how they word the UPVC aluminium windows, which will look very much like that. Do you want to pass that round, John, please? On the website there are the drawings are poor, but there are no objections from the neighbours. There are no consultation documents as regards flooding or environmental factors. There's nothing at all.
So basically, no one's got any problem with it apart from the fact that they should have applied for planning permission.
Yes, Amanda. Yeah.
And retrospective planning does not in any way weaken their application. I mean, sometimes people think,